Hello, hello, hello. This is Sara Rosina, and I am joined by my co-host,
Sean Blackshear, as always.
All right. And so tonight, ladies and gentlemen, you are joining What's Your Take Media podcast, or today, depending on where you are when you listen to it. Sorry. Whatever time zone you're in. You're joining What's Your Take Media podcast, where we're critiquing movies and television. All right.
And Happy New Year to you.
Yes, Happy New Year. And so this is actually season 2 for us. This is our first episode. Our first season, we did a lot of live videos on our Facebook page, as well as on our YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. So you can go and check that out if you get the time. What's Your Take Media? I repeat, What's Your Take Media? That's what you want to look up, and you'll find us on YouTube, as well as Facebook, Instagram. Okay.
That's right.
Yes. And Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
And Spotify.
Yes.
You got
yes.
Spotify.
Yeah, you gotta have all that.
That's right.
All right. So drum roll, please. We are going to talk about Wonder Woman 84 and Soul. Yes, the Disney animated film Soul. We're excited.
Came out same day.
Yes, it did.
It did. Yeah.
And I have to say, there was quite a trend going on social media when these films released. Because it was Christmas Day, right?
It really was. Yeah.
Yes.
It really was.
I was loving it. I was off work and thankful to the Lord that I was able to be off work. Some people, they have to work on Christmas Day, but I was thankful for that.
And I was off work and the kids were opening gifts, so I got time with the wife and got to enjoy the movies.
Oh, yes. That's what you like on your downtime.
That's right.
You get to enjoy your movie watching.
That's right, you do.
And your TV show watching.
That's right. That's what we do.
That's what we do. Okay, so, anywho, Wonder Woman 84.
This world is not yet ready for all that you will do. Your time will come, Diana. And everything will be different.
So first I'd like to say there's a lot of controversy going on with Wonder Woman 84. Okay. Now let me just give a little background on myself. Okay. So you can understand my perspective and where I'm coming from. So I have been a fan of Wonder Woman since the TV series back in the 70s with Linda Carter.
Linda Carter.
Yes,
that's right.
She was a beauty, and she still is.
She used to hold her hands out and spin around.
She did. That was the best part.
The big sun aura. With
the music. That's right. And she would turn.
That's right.
I'm not gonna lie. That first season was. She had the best spin to me on the first season because it was like a slow turn, and then you could see her taking off her jacket, and you could see the transformation. But then they got to season 2, and it was like it was just real. I didn't want to say that, but something happened,
That's right.
and I was like, it was still fun, but it was nothing like that first spin from the first season when they were in World War II dealing with the Nazis.
That's right.
That was actually
right.
probably my favorite season. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And so I instantly became a fan. Of course, I was not born in the era of that Wonder Woman series. I was actually born in the 80s. But they used to rerun it on the FX network. And that's how I became a fan. I was like, ew, I love this. To the point of I end up later on bought the DVD set and still have it to this day.
What?
There's 3 seasons, yes.
They
box
still make
sets.
DVDs?
Yes, it was a box set. I've had it for years.
All right.
Anyway, no, don't judge me. No, but so that's when I became a fan. I actually didn't read the comic book. I was never really into the comic books or whatnot. Now I do have my nerd side, like with the movies and TV and other things, movie scoring and whatnot. But that show really made me a fan. And so from there, when they announced the Wonder Woman film with Gal Gadot back in 2017, I was like, oh my gosh, I love Wonder Woman. This is fantastic, right? And so, that first film was amazing.
Well, she was the start of the female heroism with the movies. Because they went from her to Captain Marvel, didn't they? Wasn't Captain Marvel next?
Yes, I think that was after on the Marvel side.
That's right.
Yes.
Because they tried it before back in the 80s with Supergirl. didn't.
With Helen Slater.
Didn't work.
There was a plan there that they were going to try to do something with Christopher Reeve because he was Superman at the time, but it didn't quite take. But I have to say, I'm a person that loves the underdog stuff. Projects.
You like that movie?
It's kind of like Cocktail with Tom Cruise. That didn't do great in the box office, but I love that movie.
Okay.
So Supergirl, I'm not going to sit here and tell y'all that this was the greatest movie ever made. The best superhero film. No, not going to say that. But it's something about it that I like.
Okay.
But it could be the era as well because it came out in the 80s, and I'm an 80s baby, and I love the 80s. Mm-hmm. Okay, segueing into Wonder Woman 1984.
There you go. Now, I'm coming from a different direction than you because I was a comic book nerd.
Okay.
So Wonder Woman is a huge part of DC. You got the main three. You got Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, right? So those are the main three. So there's some pieces in the movie that I'll come at from a different direction.
Yes, but see, this is ladies and gentlemen, the reason we're giving you these perspectives so you can understand when we start talking about this film, critiquing, if you will, because that's what we're doing. Mm-hmm. You'll understand a little bit of why we're saying what we're saying.
That's right. That's right.
And so I think that's a big, huge thing. And when it comes to this film especially, I think perspective is playing a big role in the way people are critiquing this film. Mm-hmm. Because I'm not going to lie, so I'm from that perspective of, I'm a Wonder Woman fan, yes! So when I initially watched it, I was like, yay! I had the rose-colored glasses on because I'm a fan of Wonder Woman, right?
That's right.
And so I have a tendency to try to separate things so that people can have their equal play. And I'm saying that statement in regards to, I think one of the biggest things that's going on with DC is not to take. Now hold on, let me stop for a second. Marvel has been doing a great job putting out projects. Iron Man, Captain America, the Avengers, awesome job.
Deadpool 2.
Yes, Deadpool 2. And so the audience doesn't know this running joke. We'll come back to that later. In between the two of us. And so it's an inside joke. And so Marvel came out first. Okay? And so DC was like, yeah, we're finna come out too. Now, meanwhile, DC has been making successful television programs, but I don't want to go too far into that. On CW, Arrow, Supergirl, The Flash. Okay. Skirt. Pause for a second. And so I took it back with that one. Skirt. And so...
don't forget Black Lightning.
Oh, yes, Black Lightning. So they've been having much success on the TV series side.
Yeah.
Okay. But unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at this, Marvel was first. And I mean, they came out the gate. I mean, oh my gosh, yeah. Robert Downey Jr. You got Chris. Oh my gosh.
Hemsworth.
No, not him. Chris Hemsworth. Yes, I was thinking of another Chris, but Captain America, Chris.
That's right.
Two Chris's. Chris, Hemsworth.
Wonder Woman had Chris too.
Yeah, they do.
Pine, isn't it?
You're right. Okay, it's a lot of Chris's. Natalie Portman, everybody. So they had a great cast to fill those shoes. God rest his soul, the late Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther. And so then here comes DC. And they're like, hey, we want to get out there, bring a little fire, bring a little competition. And so automatically people's mindsets are going to compare DC to Marvel. And I was like, I get it, but you gotta let DC have their lane. This is just, my opinion. This is Sarah's thoughts, Sarah Zeno, her thoughts. And so I think that's some of the fight, even though I feel like out of all of the movies that DC have put out, Wonder Woman is by far the best thus far. Just what people are saying in general. But
then Aquaman?
I was gonna say Aquaman.
What?
Aquaman was fantastic.
Yeah, it was
but at that time, the first Wonder Woman, they were like, yeah, this is good.
Well, yeah, at the time. Yeah.
Yes, at the time. So now that I've said all that, this is what I believe is some of the struggle of what's going on with this sequel to Wonder Woman 84. Is that automatic comparison between the two universes. I mean, even with, I'm going to bring it up, but, Batman versus Superman and Man of Steel. I liked Man of Steel, though.
I love Man of Steel. Here's what the problem is.
All right, what you got?
Let me tell you what the problem is right now.
Right.
So, Marvel is really staying true to the comics, right? They're not going off the deep end and saying that Batman's weakness is that Superman's mother's name is Martha. You know what I mean? So They are going strictly off the comics. Iron Man 1, Tony Stark was arrogant. He was arrogant all throughout the comic books, right?
All right.
But in DC, they are taking off so many different liberties and starting to, and which is why Aquaman and Wonder Woman Part 1 worked so well. They were exactly true to the comics.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say that.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna comment on that. I feel like we should allow room for writers to have liberties to making things their own. Hey, look, this is my take, okay? I feel it's kind of like when I made this making this statement now, but when I was thinking this before the statement, I thought about American Idol. Like that was one of those things, like Simon Cowell. That's one of those things they would tell people when they come on. Okay, we want you sounded good, you sang the song well, but where is it? Where in this is it yours? You know what I'm saying? So I can definitely understand that. I've heard a lot of feedback in regards to that. Especially people that know the comic books. They're like, wait, what is this? This ain't what happened.
What the haberdashery?
I feel like as long as the foundation is there, but like I said, I'm an open-minded person, just in life. So this is just how my perspective is always going to be. I'm always going to be well-rounded, and and we'll get into it. We'll get into it more. So Wonder Woman 84. All right, let's talk a little bit about the synopsis here. So Diana Prince, she is contending with a work colleague and a businessman, and we know both of those to be basically villains, and that's Max Lord and Cheetah. And their desire is for extreme wealth, which sends the world down a path of destruction after an ancient artifact grants wishes goes missing. And so right there, even
wishing stone.
Right. Right there in reading the synopsis, you already know, okay, so this is definitely going to be a deeper, meaningful type of film. Now, it's going to have action because
that
it's
where it
a
lost me?
comic book. Yes. And I even read that somewhere. They were like the second one had a lot more meaning.
Yeah.
And I will definitely bring out some of that or whatnot. But let's look at the director/writer. Okay, so right out the gate, everybody knows that Patty Jenkins is the director of this film. She was the director of the first film.
Yep.
Okay, I love Patty. She's a woman empowerment. I'm on board.
She been fighting on the internet.
Oh, man. God bless you,
You
Patty
ain't
Jenkins.
just gonna talk about her movie and she go.
Don't come for Patty.
That's right.
All right. And so Gal Gadot's been out there too now. I ain't gonna lie, she loves the project. Okay.
Yep.
So, writer-directors, Patty Jenkins, main director. Okay, this was co-written by Geoff Johns and Dave Callahan. Okay. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about Patty Jenkins, just to give people a feel if you don't already know. So Patty Jenkins, her first feature film was Monster back in 2003 with Charlize Theron.
What?
Yes, her first film.
Okay.
Now we know all about that.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
she got an Academy Award nomination. Oh, sorry, Charlize Theron won the Academy Award for this portrayal in the film. Okay. Something else, there was a TV series that's called The Killing from 2011 to 2014. She received a Primetime Emmy Award nomination for Outstanding Directing for a Drama Series and won the Directors Guild of America Award for Outstanding Directing in Dramatic Series. Okay. Now here's a little background on Patty that I just love too as well. Do you know that she watched the original, we brought this up earlier, Superman movie back in from 78 with Christopher Reeve, and that inspired her to pursue film as a career. Good old Christopher.
What?
Yes. So she was already DC.
Well, that movie inspired me to do a lot of things as well.
That's fantastic.
Not so much film. I can recall putting a towel in my shirt and running around so it can flap in the wind like Superman.
Oh, yes. We all want to be heroes.
That's right.
We really do deep inside. We really do. And so I was like, okay, that's kind of dope. So
Okay.
look at her now. Can you imagine to have this vision or dream and then look at where she's at now? That's fantastic.
Yep.
All right. So a little bit more about Patty. Here are some upcoming projects she's got going on. I don't know how you all are going to feel about this. Some are going to be excited and some might, depending on how you felt about Wonder Woman 84. But Wonder Woman 3 is already in the works. Yes, it's been approved.
Wow.
Audience, if you could see Sean's face, don't make that face. I'm excited about Wonder Woman 3.
All right.
All right. And then here's something else. This film, okay, this is a film that I know is going to be controversial because of the actual history and background, okay? This next project that she's got coming up is actually with Gal Gadot as well. They're working together again.
Of course.
So this original film adaptation that was huge, the biggest of the films. I don't know if they did it before this one I'm about to comment on, but I know it was the largest one they've ever done so far. And that is Cleopatra. Now, the version I'm talking about is with Elizabeth Taylor, who I'm a fan of. Okay.
Gotta love Liz.
So that Cleopatra was actually one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid. Now, this is this is back when they had the VHS tapes.
Right.
And so it was 2 tapes.
You going back to beta.
Yes. Look, that's back when they had 10 Commandments and the robe. All of these tapes were super. They had the long intermission. So that Cleopatra. So Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot are collaborating and working on Cleopatra.
What?
Gal Gadot is playing the role of Cleopatra. Okay. All right. Just throwing that out there. These are upcoming projects for Patty Jenkins. I know. Think on it.
Beyonce
Okay.
want to do that movie?
Oh.
Or was that in Dreamgirls?
No, it was Dreamgirls.
That was okay. I'm back.
I love it. You're
back.
jumping
I'm
in there
back.
because now we're going to bring up Dreamgirls later. And so she's also got Star Wars Rogue Squadron coming up.
What?
Yes. So she's on the Star Wars project directing. All right. All right. Moving on. Okay. So
let's talk about Charles Roven, one of the producers.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You don't know Charles? You don't know Charles. All right. So Charles been in the game since 73.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
He's been on since 73. But he has been in the Marvel universe for a good portion of it. So way back to Batman.
Marvel or DC?
Sorry, DC
Okay.
universe for a little while. So he actually did the Dark Knight. That first one of the trilogy, which was not the best one, but that was the one with Scarecrow.
Right.
Yeah,
not the best one. No.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the last one was the best. You're gonna say the Dark Knight. I know. I like the last one.
You
Sorry.
like Bane?
Yes.
Not the Joker.
You were born in the darkness. You were born in darkness. Yes.
You don't like him telling you how he got these scars?
I'm not saying I didn't like the Dark Knight. I'm saying what my favorite one was.
Well, fine.
And Anne Hathaway was Catwoman. Okay.
Okay. There you go. All right.
Okay.
Well, he did the Dark Knight Rises. He did Man of Steel.
Okay.
He did Batman vs Superman. Poor guy. You can't win them all. You can't win them all. And upcoming, he actually is doing the Suicide Squad, which I'm excited about. And Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yes.
Which I'm excited about.
I'm waiting for the release of that.
You know, a lot of people didn't like Suicide Squad. I loved it.
Crazy.
Did you see
I loved it too. Yeah, I loved it.
Oh my God, that was great.
Yes, they're actually got something else going on. I think it's another one.
They're remaking it.
Yeah, remaking it pretty much. There you go.
Heck.
I know.
Leave well enough alone.
I know. This is this is the universe we're living in.
You know what they should have left alone? That Harley Quinn sequel.
Yeah, wasn't too keen about that one.
That was bad.
And I like
I love Harley
actress
Quinn.
in there, but
You like Margot Robbie?
I do like Margot Robbie.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first film
Robbie?
I got Robbie, Margot Robbie.
Tomato.
Sorry, Margot, if you're out there. But actually, I became familiar with her, I think, in Focus. But before that was Tarzan. But I love Focus with her and Will Smith.
Mm-hmm,
I love that movie. I was like, yes, this is good. It was a nice pairing they did there. But yes, and of course she's done a lot of great work since then. Bombshell was good. Okay, so I want to get back and talk a little bit about Geoff Johns. He was actually a co-writer on Wonder Woman 84 with Patty. You gotta talk about Geoff because he actually served as the president and chief creative officer of DC Entertainment from 2016 to 2018.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And some of his most notable work from DC Comics characters: Green Lantern, Aquaman, Flash, and Superman. Okay, so he's had experience
He
here.
should have expelled the Green Lantern.
Well,
I wouldn't.
they still want to keep that going.
There was always that one job you don't put on your resume.
Yeah.
I would have left that one.
But it's funny you talk about that because you got some upcoming projects in regards to that. So in 2018, he stepped down from that role of DC Entertainment to open his own production company. It's called Mad Ghost Productions. Okay, to focus on writing and producing film and television and comic book titles.
Nice.
Based on DC. Okay, so he has co-developed the TV series The Flash from 2014 to present. It's actually doing very well. We mentioned this earlier.
Flash is good, yeah.
Titans, 2018 to now.
Titans is good.
Now this one I haven't quite seen now, but Stargirl, it came out last year.
Girl was great.
Okay.
If you like a blonde Valley high school girl that happens to find this glowy stick.
Glowy stick. All right.
But true to the comic.
Okay. So what is going? So it's like they're doing it on the TV shows, but what's going on with the movies? Okay, as far as the comic books, my head started hurt now. I think I'm starting to understand what you guys were saying. Okay. Other writing, he did some various episodes of Blade, Smallville. Love Smallville.
Oh God.
Will always love Smallville.
Always.
Tom Welling.
That's right.
All right. And Arrow.
Yeah.
All right.
Wife loves Arrow.
Yes. Okay. And
I
so
couldn't get into it, but she loves it.
the producer of Green Lantern. Okay. Justice League 2017.
Man.
Hey, co-wrote the story for Aquaman.
Oh, there you go.
Right.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Now we're
and
going
so
back.
he's did the screenplay for this movie here, Wonder Woman 84.
Okay.
Okay. So current things he's got going on. He's got a Birds of Prey coming.
Huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. He already did Birds of Prey 2020. Sorry. He did Shazam in 2019. We all know about that.
Shazam was good.
Executive produced those, and he executive produced Aquaman. So he's got some pretty good. Now, some stuff.
The only thing that surprised me about Shazam
Yes.
is his main villain has always been Black Adam.
Okay.
And instead of them having him go against Black Adam, I'm so curious on what they're finna do with Black Adam's own single movie where The Rock is playing him.
Right.
I'm so curious how they're finna do all that. Because they got to come together sooner or later.
Right.
Yeah.
There's just so much going on.
Oh, God, yeah.
And so here's some upcoming projects that he has going on. Geoff Johns. I hope I'm saying his name right. All right. So they're going to do a Superman and Lois February of this year.
I'm gonna see this.
Executive producer. And check this out. They're doing a Frosty the Snowman. But it's Jason Momoa as Frosty the Snowman, and he's magically brought to life. So, in a sense, it's a live adaptation of Frosty the Snowman. Okay, anyway, I'm just telling you, this is what's going on. And I'm getting all of this information, ladies and gentlemen, from imdb.com. Okay? Also, he's got the Untitled Joker / Harley Quinn project. I've been knowing about that one for a while with Margot Robbie and Jared Leto.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Did you say Frosty the Snowman?
I did.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
With the carrot nose.
With Jason Momoa from Aquaman.
Aquaman is playing
He's
Frosty.
playing Frosty the Snowman.
I mean, you got to show some depth in your acting ability.
You do.
Yeah, you do.
You really do.
Yeah.
Okay.
From a fish to a snowman.
And Batgirl, producer of Batgirl. Let's see. Green Lantern Corps.
Now, hold on, pause. Do you watch Batgirl?
I've seen the first few episodes, yes.
Okay.
But now I'm upset.
Why?
Because the original
Batgirl
actress
she gone.
is gone.
Where's she gone?
But they're bringing it back
Yeah.
with...
It's a black girl now.
Yes.
Hey.
Which I'm excited about the black girl. It's
Yeah.
just, don't do that to me. You got me used to somebody, and then this isn't a soap opera. You know, they have those liberties on soap
Yeah, they
operas.
do.
You can't do that with other shows.
Yeah.
Our minds can't handle it.
I want to see it now because they switched because I ain't nowhere
Well, I'm probably
anywhere.
gonna watch it.
Batgirl was a different.
Some kind of contract, something going on with the original actress. I can't even think of her name right now.
Got to be more.
But anyway, so as you can tell in my voice, I'm a little upset about that. Okay, so yeah, I was just, kind of liking Batgirl. All right, and then he's got Green Lantern Corps coming up. It's an alien interstellar police force that protects the universe.
Supposed
He's
to be
producing
a
that
series
show
on HBO.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. I'm about to say, you comic book fans may know exactly what I'm talking about with Green Lantern Corps.
He had to give a second shot.
Yeah, there you go.
Had to give it.
All right, so I'm gonna bring out one more writer on Wonder Woman 84. This is actually David Callahan. Okay, you'll like this. So he actually did the screenplay for the first Expendables. Okay. And then for the Expendables 2 and 3, he helped with character development.
What are they on, 13?
I know, right?
Wow.
And so, of course, what did he do? He was also writer for Zombieland, the sequel, Double Tap.
Have you seen that?
And Godzilla.
Have you seen Zombieland?
I am not really a fan of Zombieland.
What the bloody...
Sorry.
What?
Not gonna...
It's hilarious.
You know, I do like the humor.
Yeah.
But just one of those movies I was running out to see.
Really?
Personally.
Okay.
I'm sure it's a great movie.
It's
I mean,
hilarious.
it's a great cast from what I've seen.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
And so for him, upcoming projects, you're gonna love this. You might or you might not, because Disney and their live adaptations.
Oh.
Well, here it is, folks. Hercules. They're making a live adaptation of the film.
Oh.
He is a writer on there.
Okay.
You already know about Mortal Kombat. They're rebooting
That's
that
right. Got
April of this year, and he did the screenplay for that. And David Callahan has been signed on to do Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2 coming October of next year. He's writer.
Really?
Now, I enjoyed the first Spider-Verse.
The first one was good.
Fantastic. I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
It really was.
I really
Animation,
was.
everything. It was fantastic. Okay. All right. And so we can't go into the Wonder Woman 84 and not talk about Hans Zimmer. I'm sorry. But he's probably one of my favorite film composers of all time.
Tell me about
And
it.
Hans is so versatile, it blows my mind. So I'm going to take y'all on a journey with Hans Zimmer. So he's the composer of Wonder Woman 84 and the first Wonder Woman as well. And so let's see here. Hans has been in the game a while. All right, he actually did the composing for a little old film with Tom Hanks and who was that? Madonna was in there and Rosie O'Donnell. A League of Their Own. Back in '92.
Really?
Yes, I was shocked.
Okay.
He did The Lion King
One of my
in
favorite
'94,
soundtracks.
and he did the reboot they did in 2019. But he won the Academy Award in '94 for the original Lion King.
Of course he did.
Of course he did. Great music. He did The Preacher's Wife back in '96.
Hold, say it again. It was what?
I'm sorry, what?
It was great music?
It was great music.
Shouldn't have messed with it. What the problem is? Or at least you
We'd
could
be here all day talking about Lion King, the rebooted movie.
Beyonce in there. How did you miss? Never mind.
Okay,
All right.
so that's what's going on.
All right.
Already. He did The Preacher's Wife in '96, Interstellar in 2014, Gladiator, one of my all-time favorite movies. Gladiator. I love the freaking music on that movie.
Okay.
The whole Dark Knight trilogy. Another favorite, The Prince of Egypt.
Oh.
Yes,
We
Sherlock
sing that all
Holmes,
the time.
Inception, the Bible miniseries. Yeah, this is the versatility of Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
He's
wow.
fantastic.
Okay.
All right.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice. All right. So, one of my favorite actresses is in this movie.
What movie?
Wonder Woman. I haven't left you yet.
That's what we're talking about.
Right.
Okay.
Kristen Wiig.
Oh, you're ready.
Oh.
Wait, I ain't gonna drop to Kristen and we ain't talked about Gal Gadot.
What?
No, that's fine. Go ahead.
Kristen Wiig. I have loved her on SNL for years and years. She is fantastic. She was in Bridesmaids.
Yes, I love Bridesmaids.
She was in the Ghostbusters that everybody hated, which I loved.
Yeah.
Did you like it? You didn't like it?
I'm sorry, I'm an 80s Ghostbusters fan.
Oh, you
Can't
don't.
do that to me.
Oh, you saying you don't like it when they stick to the same storyline? Is that what you're saying? Like when they don't stick to the comics?
That's not what I'm saying. I just didn't like it.
What happened, Sarah? The writer took some creative liberties.
Oh, there we go.
But it was a good movie. But she's hilarious to me.
Yeah, she is funny.
I was very curious to see her in this serious role.
Yes.
More of a serious role, and
Yes.
she didn't disappoint until they made her CGI cat. But that's all right. Everything else was great.
I mean, CGI is the thing of now.
Did they not learn anything from the movie Cats?
Yeah. Oh gosh. We just had to go there.
We did. It was angelical.
Ooh, cats.
Everything's angelical.
Okay. All right. So, but in reference to your Ghostbusters statement, well, I know I am a person that. Now, I did mention earlier on the show that I'm an 80s baby, and so that era of time is just real precious to me. And so all these movies and things that they're trying to do with TV shows or rebooting, it takes a certain type of something Because especially when you got something great and that's known like the Ghostbusters. I mean, it was a whole song. It was a whole movement. Ghostbusters. I mean, you know.
Ray Parker Jr.
You got to do it. You got to do it justice, you know, because they're doing a lot of it these days. You know, if I just throw out an example, I know one that I actually like that they've rebooted. It's a TV show, and it originally came out in the '80s. Was Dynasty. Now I watched the original Dynasty. I was a fan of Joan Collins and whatnot, and Forsyth, and you know he was the voice of Charlie from Charlie's Angels. If you didn't know that, fun fact. And anywho, and so the reboot of Dynasty is actually pretty good. Now they've taken a lot of liberties on that show with switching out characters and whatnot, but it's fantastic. And I think that's really kind of based on the actors in the role. I mean, you know, I want to give it up to the writers too. You know, there was applause right there. That's where that would go. But yes, so that's a good example of one. But it's you know, it's a lot to try to reboot some of these great,
I understand,
you know, projects. Because some of them, like the Goonies, I'm like, no, leave that alone. No, you can't reboot it. It was an era. It was a time. You know, it's just not the same. Like the Sandlot. No, don't touch the Sandlot. What are you doing? You know, you feel me?
Or like the Lost Boys.
They better not touch the Lost Boys. They better not touch
the Lost Boys. That movie.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
All right, so we all know about Gal Gadot. She was in, you know, she's done some Fast and Furious movies.
White dress.
Yes, I love Gal.
She had her own nice white dress.
She did a fun movie called Keeping Up with the Joneses. I like that we were able to see her comical side. That was pretty cool. And let's see, upcoming projects. We already know about Cleopatra. I brought that up earlier. She's got a movie coming out called Red Notice. It's going to be a Netflix film. It was produced, made at Tyler Perry Studios. And Dwayne Johnson and Ryan Reynolds are co-starring. Yeah, they already got the trailer off of that. I'm excited about that. It looks kind of good.
Okay.
All right. And of course, we know about Chris Pine. I didn't even realize it, but I really became familiar with Chris Pine on The Princess Diaries 2. That's one of my favorite movies. And Royal Engagement, and that was a Disney film. And that's when I really took notice of him, but he really hadn't been out that long before that. And this man has just been popping out projects. Smoking Aces, do you remember that?
I love Smoking Aces.
And of course, he took on the Star Trek role as Kirk. Let's see.
Hold on, Smoking Aces was also Alicia Keys.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a great movie.
Yes, it was. Yeah. Okay. All righty. You had to bring up Alicia, didn't you?
I love Alicia.
Okay.
Love Alicia.
No, she's great. She's great. And let's see. Chris Pine is a versatile actor. I almost want to say, it seems like today, because you know the typecasting thing has not always been great. Because people are like, oh my gosh, you're in this same role again. But I feel like as we're moving on towards the future, it feels like that's kind of going to the wayside. I'm starting to see a lot more versatility, especially in main actors and actresses.
Like Aquaman playing a snowman.
There you go.
Yeah,
and so I really like this about Chris Pine. Like I saw him in Horrible Bosses 2, hilarious. So we get to see his comical side. We've definitely seen him in a serious role. And so of course, upcoming for him, we have another Star Trek movie. It's a sequel to the last one. And then he's got a movie coming out called Newsflash where he's playing Walter Cronkite. See, this is why I like Chris Pine. See how you just jumped out there and you just went from
wow.
Fantastic. All right, and so of course we got to talk about Pedro Pascal. Now, Pedro Pascal is one of our villains in the film. Okay, and I'm just gonna do a little bit about him. One of his most known roles to me is from Game of Thrones. Okay, so I love Game of Thrones, and we all know he was in Oberyn Martell. Okay. And so he's done some other projects, but that's going to be his most known role. Yeah, so he did a sequel to Kingsman Kingsman The Golden Circle.
Now, have you seen those? The Kingsman series?
I have seen the first one. I have not seen the second one. Well, there you go.
What is with you in sequels?
I don't know. It takes a lot. What do you want me to say?
Yeah, it was great. He was great in the movie.
Okay, I'll have to watch the sequel. Yeah. And The Equalizer 2. Now, I did see that sequel. So he's got a fun comedy movie coming up called The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Oh.
Ain't that a long title?
Right.
But it's cool because he has Nicolas Cage, Neil Patrick Harris, and Tiffany Haddish are acting alongside him in that. That should be interesting.
Tiffany Haddish, huh?
Yes.
I like Tiffany.
All right, so let's talk a bit about this Wonder Woman film.
Yes, let's jump right on up in there. So, this movie had everything, right? So you got the Wonder Woman. You know, she's in there. No spinning, but she's in there. You got her, playing Spider-Man with lightning. You got the child version of her cheating. It had everything. So here's where I think people went wrong.
Okay.
When I see a sequel, I never go into it thinking it's gonna be better than the first one.
Okay.
Never, because the first one is a shock. Ooh, what are they gonna do? It's a whole bunch of mystique. So I think everybody came into this thinking this is about to be the best they've ever seen. I'm like, nah, it's a sequel. You got to give it a little bit of room.
Yeah.
So it was a movie. It was a good movie.
The
problem. Again, what the problem is around here? Is Wonder Woman didn't lasso no daggum lightning. She did not turn the invisible plane invisible by touching it.
From the comic book standpoint.
She wasn't the daughter of Zeus. And the golden armor that she had on actually was Hawk Girl's.
Okay.
No, don't give me that. No, look.
Look, I'm listening. What?
You have got to have something. Come on, you got to appeal to everybody.
Well, they had the golden armor.
It was
there.
It was Hawk Girl.
Okay. So something I want to point out, because I was talking with a friend of mine, and he brought out a few things because he was like, "Oh, it was terrible." I was like, "What? I don't think the movie was terrible. Did we forget the Green Lantern?" I'm just saying. So it wasn't terrible. Yeah, it was terrible. The Green Lantern. Yeah. Anyway, so anywho. But from the Green Lantern, see, I try to look at the positive in some things. From the Green Lantern, Ryan Reynolds met his future wife, Blake.
Oh,
yeah.
There you go.
There we go. Blake Lively from Gossip Girl.
You know what else? The Green Lantern, it came back.
It did.
In Deadpool 2. Alrighty. I'll just wait till you check that out.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes. So a few things I want to bring up. So a friend of mine were talking, and I was like, terrible? Why was it terrible? Brought out a few points, and some of the points he brought out, I was like, hold on there, sir. Now, hold on. He's like, okay, so for one, he was like, basically in this Wonder Woman sequel, it wasn't pointed out how she was able to live from the 40s into 84. And so this is where I'm at with that. They didn't have to talk about that because they had already touched on that. If you'd watched Batman versus Superman, they already showed you what was going on when he had that picture of her, and then they gave you background story in the first movie. So you got to watch and correlate all that. Oh my goodness, I was a little frustrated with that. And you listening to this, you know I'm talking to you. I'm not gonna put his name out there.
There you go.
But my good old buddy and friend of mine. But anyway, so he was a little frustrated there. But this person I was talking to, their perspective was also from comic books. They know a lot about the comic books. So I get it. I'm a person that doesn't know a lot about the comic books, so I understand it. And then I already have backstory on Wonder Woman from watching the TV show from the 70s or whatnot. Now that flying thing, I wasn't aware of that, but I loved seeing it in the sequel about her being able to fly. I didn't know she could fly. I just thought she could jump real high, so that was dope. And of course I knew about the visible plane, but it wasn't from that perspective of touching it. She was just pretty much an invisible plane.
Right.
So that was different. Or whatnot. Liberties, people.
Oh no, there was no possession either.
But the correlation that I found between these films, because I know another thing my friend said was, why 84? Why 84? Okay. Well, let's touch on why was it Wonder Woman 84?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Baby.
So in 84, that was the time of the Cold War, okay? It was the period of geopolitical tension between the Soviet Union and the United States and their respective allies, okay? And here, the term code is used because there was no large-scale fighting directly between the two superpowers, but they each supported major regional conflicts known as proxy wars. And so here's the point that's going to tie it together from the first film. The conflict was based around the ideological and geopolitical struggle for global influence by the two powers following their temporary alliance and victory against Nazi Germany in 1945. And when was the first movie filmed in time? World War II. Oh, man. Guys, yes, World War II. So you see how they kind of went, the first one and the second one really went together? Okay. And besides that, they wanted to bring Steve Trevor back somehow because it's the great love of Diana Prince's life, and this was a way to do that.
Okay. Was that not creepy?
What?
All I'm saying is, you wake up one day and you shine. And then you go to a party, and now all of a sudden you Steve. I mean, what the? It's
been done before.
Where did Steve go? As he became the other person.
He was stuck somewhere, and look, that lava finna go in his soul already.
That's right.
Right, he was levitating. No, he was stuck somewhere between two worlds.
It was just that piece to me was. I was so curious on how they were going to bring him back.
Yes, after seeing the trailer.
And I guess that was the only way they really could have.
Yeah, it really was. He had to take over someone else's body.
Yeah, I mean, really. That was
the only way.
That's it.
All right. So that's kind of how they correlated those two in 1984. And also, this is something my mom and I talked about. It was a great segue for Steve Trevor to come back in that time because they had the plane available. He had the knowledge of how to fly that plane from when he was alive in the 40s. So I was like, okay, now I kind of see what y'all was trying to do and why it was 84. And then it was the 80s. I mean, who doesn't love the 80s?
That's right. That's right.
All right.
But you know what this movie did have, though? This movie had some of the best action sequences.
Oh my gosh! Oh. The freaking beginning alone.
Oh my God! The fight in the mall. That was awesome. And you know, I'm old, so I'm looking at some of the stores that's in the background. Like, I remember that.
Oh yeah.
Or I remember when people used to go to the mall.
I know, right? Good times.
Going outside without a mask on.
Oh yeah. It certainly took us back, and with the music and everything.
It really did. So that piece of it, yeah.
Even with Hans Zimmer, because I saw the clip where he kind of had a studio session where he had kind of reinvented the original score for Wonder Woman. And I actually have it as my ringtone. Yes, I do. And anywho, and in the studio, he had Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins in there. It was a nice little clip. And Sheila E. was actually in there drumming.
Sheila E.?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, Sheila E. is on the Wonder Woman score.
Huh.
And so if
really
you think about it,
now.
right, and if you think about it, hey, I didn't even think about that. And if you think about it, the original score had a hint of dark in it. Not like evil, but the tone of it was befitting for Batman versus Superman, Justice League, and the first Wonder Woman or whatnot. But the 80s movie, that was light in a light time and fancy free time. And so with him adding whatever he added to it, it definitely went with the film. I just love Hans Zimmer. I'm sorry, just so creative, and I'm like, how do you do what you do? I want like a session where we can have a conversation and you can really break some stuff down. But anyway, so I loved the little flavor that he added to the newer, updated score of Wonder Woman in this film.
Okay, it's awesome.
Yes.
So the first action. So I'm going back to the action. So the first action scene was in the mall was great. The flashback to Themyscira. When the little girl, I mean, that contest was, I was on the edge of my seat like, well,
that was awesome.
Like, is the baby gonna win? What's that? I was sitting there watching, I'm like, she cheated.
And with you saying that, you remember we talked about there's definitely a lot more meaning in this film than the first film. And so a few things, one of the things that Hippolyta, that how you say it?
Who?
Hippolyta, her mom.
Hippolyta.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. And so, this is gonna be real. And so she had a line in there, and she said, "Do your best. Greatness is not what you think."
Yep.
And that was before they went through that whole thing with the young Diana or whatnot. So before they went through all that, she said that, and I was like, okay, I could feel that. And so after that, Auntie comes in and she snatches her up because she saw she had cheated. And what a friend of mine was mad about this part. They was like, why do you have to snatch her up? Well, you got to look deeper into it.
Got to.
Okay? So she was like, you took the short path and cheated. Truth is all there is. So at the very beginning, they bring truth out in such a way. Because at the end, the truth thing came again. Okay. And so she was like, you cannot be the winner because you are not ready to win. No true hero is born from lies. And so from there, narrow is the gate and difficult is the way which leads to life. And there are few who find it. That's scripture right there, Matthew 7:14. And so from there, it's obvious. They saw the greatness in Diana. They knew she was greater than everybody. She was born that way. But she had to be humbled so she wouldn't get in that prideful way and probably would have ended up turning out like Cheetah. Okay?
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
That's right.
She needed that. That was to help mold and shape her to be the great leader that she is now. And we saw that in 84.
So to all my comic book brethren out there, what Sara is saying is in Wonder Woman's origin story, had the auntie not said that, she would have become a nefarious villain.
Nefarious! It's one of my favorite words.
I love it. Okay, all right, awesome. Okay.
Yes, so she definitely needed that. And I think in any great leader, you got to be humble.
You do.
You do.
You really do.
And that was a humbling moment for that. She pouted and she did all of that, what she did, but it made her a great leader.
But that game, though, that was one heck of a contest.
It was. It was.
That was awesome. That was an
freaking
awesome contest.
So that was a great action scene.
Yep.
The scene where they were on the road. Oh man,
I love that scene.
That was
fantastic.
fantastic.
Was awesome. And even old Steve got into the action. He
Yes, he did.
went and got in what was he driving, a car or a tank?
I think it was a tank.
Yeah. He gonna help this woman. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
It really was a good scene. But in that scene, she saw she was losing her.
Yeah,
she was losing a little power in that scene.
Because of her nemesis, Cheetah.
Yeah,
she was stripping her of her powers. Oh, but actually, I'm sorry. That's not why she was losing her powers.
I thought it was because of the wish.
It was because of the wish.
Yeah, because of the wish. Yeah.
So there comes that sacrifice. Great leaders have to make great sacrifice. Even though, she had such a lonely existence because she couldn't, talking about Diana Prince, she couldn't befriend anybody really because at some point she's going to live on. They're going to grow old. Like even when they showed that picture of her and the young lady from the military in the first film, that was like a secretary to Steve Trevor.
Yep.
It's like she couldn't risk being found out. I was like, man, this is sad. So all she really had was Steve Trevor. Steve Trevor knew who she was Wonder Woman. She loved him, and it was just so sad.
It was.
And then she had to let him go.
Yep.
Who would do that? See, that is a true making of a leader to make that kind of sacrifice. Like for the world, like the world is greater and bigger than all of this. Just her heart.
Oh,
I feel for her.
Aww.
She's like Superman.
She is. Now, it's funny you say
Immortal.
that because in the comics she's not so lonely. In a couple episodes, she's her and Batman are a thing, and then after that, her and Superman are a thing. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if they're going to expound upon that on the in the films. But it would be interesting.
It would be interesting.
Right. Well, I don't know. It might be kind of hard with Superman because Lois is in the picture, but Batman. But even there, we still got to see what they're going to do with Batman because I don't even know if they're going to bring in the new Batman to mesh with this DC universe.
They did say that. I was reading somewhere that it was a different universe. I'm like, oh my God.
You know what, people? And this is why people are upset with you, DC. There's too much going on.
That's right. Come back.
Come back to us.
Explain just a little bit.
Explain a little bit.
Yeah.
And so there was definitely a lot more meaning in Wonder Woman 84. And one thing that I know they brought out well was from Cheetah's character and her making that wish to be Diana Prince. Didn't even know her. It's like we got to be careful in wishing to be someone because you don't know what they have to carry to be that person.
That's right.
And looking at it, she didn't have what it took to carry that particular mantle. Diana did, but she didn't. Now, I'm not saying she couldn't have carried her own mantle, but it wasn't that one. Because it made her just a horrible person.
Well, she that goes back to what you said about the auntie, right? Because Diana got it the lesson when she was a young kid.
Yeah, they groomed her and all that.
Yeah, the cat is learning it in 2 days, but
I know.
She decided to go. What is she? Her big decision to become a villain was when she met up with a guy that tried to hurt her in the park.
Right, revenge.
So that, and she was turning him a new one, and she was enjoying it.
Oh yeah, she was.
Yeah, and then her friend tried to stop her. He was like, nah, mind your own business.
Right. But even in that same instance, it was like Diana was born to be elite.
Yeah.
I mean, her freaking dad was Zeus. I mean, what?
That's right.
Oh my goodness.
In the movie.
In the movie. In the movie.
Not in the comic.
Yes, in the movie. And so, and I know there's been some talk about even the ending of the film, and we were like, oh, it's supposed to be this big old, we're used to this big old showdown and fight, and it really wasn't quite that, but it was that meaning part, and they were bringing out truth and everything. But one thing that I noticed, so there's two villains. You had Max Lord and Cheetah, right? Mm-hmm. So I saw it as a brawn versus mental fight. So with Cheetah, we got the brawn fight. That was a good scene. And then with Max Lord, we got more of a mental fight.
I apologize.
It showed her versatility as a superhero.
I'm so sorry. What was a good scene?
You didn't like the fight between her and Cheetah?
I'm sorry. Maybe you need to go back and watch the fight. She won by electrocuting the cat that was in the water that she was in. What do you mean? No, did you?
I didn't say it was the greatest fight of all time.
It was that was the only piece. So there was 2 pieces or 3 pieces of this movie that really got me. From the comic book side of me, her lassoing lightning. I'm like, what?
It's a new evolved Wonder Woman.
It was a long story in between the fight scene. It was very, very long with her and Steve and their relationship, and it was just too long without me laughing or getting blood pumping. It was just too long for me. And the last piece was, I thought it was okay, but that last fight where it's like, okay, let's take this home. You won by talking to him?
I told you it was a battle of wits and will.
Yeah.
See, we're so used to things. We just was like, no, I wanted something different.
Where is Thanos?
And so, this wasn't that kind of film.
Thanos, what is going on? It wasn't no. I was tripping.
You were disappointed.
So oh my God. So Cheetah disappointed. The fight with Cheetah disappointed me. She's a bad mamma jamma in the comics, but she's also from Themyscira in the comics. But we won't go there. But in the Max Lord, she was trying to get the lasso to him. You remember in the scene? And in the scene, the lasso was right there at it, but couldn't get past the wind.
Right.
But at the end, the lasso was on his ankle. How did it all of a sudden?
I don't know.
I don't either. Right?
Maybe it was she distracted him.
Yeah, that's
with
all
the
right.
talking.
Yeah, that's what I said.
He got there.
Why are you? What are you? Who are you? That's why I was tripping off. Like, why are you talking to him? He's not listening to you.
Right.
But then I was like, oh. Wait, didn't it just
It's definitely a mystery.
Yeah.
It's one of those mysteries.
Yeah.
Maybe if I did some more background on it, they might tell me something. Patty J, because maybe they got something where you can read, or like, oh, these are some edits and things in the storyline.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll find out later about that. But yeah, it was a mystery.
Got to see Wonder Woman 84 uncut.
Right. There we go. Uncut. I was happy to see Linda Carter's cameo at the end.
Oh.
As Asteria, of course.
Yes.
And I was like, hey, I have to say, that's one thing I really like about this new Wonder Woman with Gal Gadot. And they have been doing a lot together, her and Linda Carter. Like, they even did a live here not too long ago together. I was like, I love it. It's like a mentorship type of thing. And the fans is loving it too.
It's so awesome seeing those original stars come back.
Yes, so, isn't it?
Did you see the Hulk, the first?
Yes.
Okay. The guy that
series?
Lou Ferrigno in the series, the actual Hulk, the guy he turned into, was actually in Hulk. The part 1. A lot of people didn't see his cameo.
Yes.
But yeah, he was actually in there too. I love it when you do those stuff.
I love the cameos. It's
cool.
Fantastic.
It
It
really
makes
is.
everything great. I'm like, yes, look, hey, it's you.
Did you, I'm sorry to switch it from Wonder Woman a second. Did you watch the series The Titans?
I have not seen The Titans.
You got to watch it. It's really good. So
I've seen Clash of the Titans.
Oh okay.
Sorry.
So in the CW world, they do a big series where all the shows kind of come together.
Oh, right, yes.
Right.
I've seen that on the Flash.
This last one, the Worlds Collide one, they had every genre of every. I mean, they went way back to the first Batman, the Robin.
Batman.
They did.
They just had an anniversary too.
Yeah. Oh
Aaron.
God, it was. So I just love it how they combine and stuff.
Don't you? Just that just fantastic.
It
It
is.
just makes it something extra special.
And I think people were looking for that in Wonder Woman. They were looking for a cameo.
Well, we got it with Linda Carter.
I'm talking Clark, Bruce.
Okay.
Aquaman, somebody,
I got you.
Yeah, somebody.
Yeah, they didn't do much of that in the first film though either.
Not the first one. It's her movie. Yeah,
Right.
The first one, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think they're kind of in that same lane as her movie, the second one. I mean, I'm just saying, Justice League, sure. Yeah, everybody's together. It's all good. It's all good. All right, so we're going to move on because I probably should have told everybody at the beginning. We had a lot going on.
Yeah.
But we're going to move on and segue into Soul. All right. Oh, but before we do that, my bad. So we have this thing that we do, Sean and I, and it's called the GTS score.
Got to see
it. And so I'm going to let Sean go first. He's going to give it's on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yep.
With 10 being the highest, of course. And I'm going to let him go first and give a scoring for Wonder Woman 84.
All right. So even with Lasso and Lightning, turning planes invisible, and beat the main villain with a rope on his foot.
Okay.
I would still give this an 8 because with everything going on, it's still, a good movie lets you escape from reality for a little while.
Well, that's what we want to do when we watch movies.
And that's what it was. So that's all I'm like. I will definitely give it an 8. I didn't come into it thinking it was going to be the most masterful piece of cinematography I've ever seen. So I would definitely give it an 8. But if I'm on HBO Max and Wonder Woman 84 and Aquaman are next to each other, or Wonder Woman 84 and Wonder Woman 1, I'm not going to watch it. Right. But I would definitely give it an 8.
Okay. I think I'll probably give it an 8 as well. Number one, I'm a Wonder Woman fan. Okay. Number two, it's set in the 80s, and I freaking love the 80s. Music and everything, and the clothing. It was fantastic. And,
I was there.
Oh, yeah, me too. I was a little baby, but I was there. And I love the action sequences. And I'm a fan of Patty Jenkins' work.
Okay.
And as far as the directorial angle, I think it was done well from a director's perspective.
Okay.
Everything that fills in the end, writing and all of that, that's. But as far as the director's perspective, I think Patty Jenkins did a fantastic job from that angle. And of course, the acting was phenomenal. I loved Gal Gadot as the role. She really, it's almost like, I feel like, it's almost like Christopher Reeve to me was born to play Superman. I kind of feel like Gal Gadot is in that same seat. She's born to play Wonder Woman. It just works so well for her.
Yeah.
Or whatnot. So I would definitely give it a GTS score of 8.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Soul.
What is this place?
What's your name, honey?
I'm Joe. I teach middle school band. Got it, go for it! Today started out as the best day of my life.
Back here tonight, first show's at 7.
Yes! Woohoo! You know what that's gonna say? Joe Gardner. I did it, I got the gig.
Okay, so we're going to talk about Disney's Soul.
Mm-hmm.
So Disney's Soul is a quick synopsis. A musician who has lost his passion for music is transported out of his body. Look at this. We're talking about body transportation again. And must find his way back with the help of an infant soul learning about herself. So right out the gate, there's so much going on in this film. It was done so well. Now, we're spiritual people, Sean and I. And so I was just blown away of the creativity and the things that were happening.
Let me tell you why.
Oh.
So the producer, Pete Docter.
Yes,
right?
Doctor. Peter
Doctor.
Hans Doctor.
He is behind Toy Story, A Bug's Life, Monsters Inc., Finding Nemo, both The Incredibles.
Hey.
Cars. Ratatouille.
Ooh.
Up. And Wally. I don't remember Wally. But
yeah.
Coco.
Coco.
I love.
Who doesn't love Coco?
Loco. That's right. I really enjoyed that movie. So he's experienced in these.
Even with Coco.
Yeah.
That kind of correlates with this.
It does. It really does. So I can definitely, now that I see, I saw everything that he's produced, I'm like, oh, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, he's the chief creative officer of Pixar. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's who he is.
Yep.
All right, so check this out. Here's some upcoming projects for Peter, Hans Doctor. Untitled Cars Project. He's executive producing. It's a series coming out this year. Look at that. And then he's got a film. It's called Luca, coming out this year, June 2021. He's an Italian character. It sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be coming out June of 2021.
Okay.
Of course, it's another Pixar film and whatnot. And so I'm not going to lie, this film definitely was giving me some vibes from Inside Out.
Okay.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Inside Out is a good movie.
Which was your favorite personality?
Oh. That's hard. That's hard. I liked them all.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I love the temper.
You gotta make me think of the Care Bears.
It was hilarious to me.
Oh my gosh. Yes, but that is a fan.
Hilarious.
I'm a fan of that movie.
Yeah.
It actually did really well. I feel like I got some awards as well. I'm trying to think.
What, In and Out?
Inside Out.
Inside Out, yeah.
I'm trying to look up there. But anyway, but I think, well, from knowing me, Joy would be my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yes, definitely Joy. Definitely Joy.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, so one thing I liked about Soul, because as I'm watching the film, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, somebody that's black had to have something to do with this film, and come to find out, there's a co-director, Kemp Powers, who's African American.
Oh, well, there you go.
All right, and so some of his work, he's did some writing on the series Star Trek Discovery, did a few episodes there, and then he did One Night in Miami. This is a film, came out last year. He did the screenplay for it.
Okay.
It's about Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, Sam Cooke, and Jim Brown. It's a civil rights era. Yes, Muhammad. Yes, so if you get time, you should really check that out.
Okay.
Yes.
Can we talk about Jamie Foxx?
Of course we can.
Oh,
the main character.
Character, Jamie Foxx. I have been a Fox fan since In Living Color.
Okay.
You know anything about Living Color?
Yes.
Okay, thank God. All right.
All right.
I want to age myself. I didn't watch the Jamie Foxx show.
Oh, I love the Jamie Foxx show. It's now available on the BET app to watch.
Okay, I might have to watch that. I think that was around the time I started working. But I love Jamie. He got some of his one of his CDs. His last CD was actually one of my favorite CDs. He got the trifecta. He can act, sing. He's pretty good.
Played just about any role.
He really can.
Comical, serious.
Yeah.
Biopic.
That's right.
He's the man.
What I don't like is on Wikipedia. So if you look up any other actor, it'll come up with them, their filmography, their early years, all that fun stuff, right? But Jamie Foxx, it does all that plus his legal troubles. Oh,
you got
just go put that man business out there like that.
Wikipedia will do it.
That's right.
But we all know him as the iconic Ray.
Yep.
We know that he really dives into his roles. I remember reading somewhere that back when he was filming Ray Charles' actual children would have to do a double take watching Jamie Foxx in the role. That's how far he got into that role.
Wow.
Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, he has an upcoming project coming up, the Untitled Mike Tyson biopic. And I'm hearing he's already getting into the role.
Let me give you the opening of the movie. The camera is high, but not as high as the heavens, just above the trees, and it's snaking through New York. Somewhere in New York, and it's cold, and people are on their way to work. It's just one camera, and you hear focus mitts being hit. in the distance, and it's just capturing regular day, blue collar people. You know what I'm saying? The hood, it's just regular. You know, people on their way somewhere, and then we get up to this boxing gym. We see the doors, and the camera stops, and you hear the doors open magically. Camera snakes in, and we see in the distance a hulking figure holding focus mitts and a little kid hitting the mitts. And you hear the kid asking the hulking figure, "My dad said you were amazing. My dad said you was one of the best. You was boss. You was this, you was that." And you hear the person's voice, "Don't worry about what your dad said. Just throw the right. Make sure you keep your left, though. You get your head knocked off." And as the camera gets closer, you see that it's now Mike Tyson. "No, but my dad said, I'm going to tell you one time, don't say anything about your dad. I don't care. That was back in the day. Just throw the left, and when you shoot the right, shoot it with authority. Shoot like you mean it." Boom. And he throws it right, and he hits Mike, and Mike acts like he's falling in super slow motion. Ah. And when he hits the ground, ding, 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 he's back at the last fight. He got knocked out. And he's he's there. And as you see him, the last fight, he's on the ground, and he rests back on the ropes. Everybody's saying, "Get up, Mike." Some people saying, "You a bum." Some people saying all the things that people were saying, because we were split at that time. And he rests back on the rope, spits his mouthpiece out, and it goes calm. And you just hear, and he's saying, "I'm done with all of this." And all of a sudden, just as we relax into that moment, the ref comes up, 1, 2.
Yeah.
And we flash back to the young Mike Tyson. That's how it opens.
What?
So I feel like this is going to probably be another Academy Award
He's
nomination
gonna
win for him.
play Mike Tyson?
Yes,
What?
I'm excited about it.
Okay.
So we, like you said, we all know he can sing. We
Yep.
saw that in Dreamgirls,
Right.
and of course from his albums. Even did some singing on the Jamie Foxx show.
He did.
All right, Django Unchained, definitely serious. Just Mercy, which was a good one, 2019 with Michael B. Jordan, who's no longer single, and had to throw that out there.
Who's not single?
Michael B. Jordan. So
Jordan.
yeah, he's not single anymore.
Who's that? Oh, that's
From
Black the bad guy in Black Panther.
Killmonger.
Oh, who's is he with?
Some model or something.
Of course.
Got a picture on
What else?
social media. It's look, it went viral.
What else would it do?
So anyway, you know, he's one of those heartthrobs, you know,
I
especially
got
for
you.
the African American community.
Is he?
But he's no longer single.
I'll take your word for it.
Alrighty, and so this is something that I'm sure the listeners and you as well will love. That's upcoming for Jamie Foxx. Okay, so remember, and they had the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yep.
And he played
Electro. Yep.
So guess what? There's an Untitled Spider-Man sequel coming up December of this year where he's playing the same role.
Oh, thank God.
In the new Spider-Man
They did
universe.
him dirty in that other one. That was,
Yeah,
that was
so I'm
pretty
excited
bad.
about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And then he's they're rebooting the movie Spawn. He's in Spawn.
They're doing Spawn again?
Yes.
What?
I know, isn't it fantastic?
What?
I know.
Did you see part 1?
Yes.
What?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't want to lie on air. And so you got Jamie, and of course you can't talk about Soul without talking about Tina Fey.
Yep.
'Cause
Another
they're
SNL
duo.
alumni.
Yes. That duo that they put together is
Yep.
fantastic.
It was.
So we all know that Tina Fey started out on Saturday Night Live. But did you know this? She made history as the show's first female head writer on
I didn't
Saturday
know
Night
that.
Live.
What?
I was like, come on, Tina.
Well, all right,
Young
go
woman
kick some
empowerment.
doors. There
Just
you
a
go.
whole night of it. All right. And so one of my favorite shows that she was on was 30 Rock.
Yeah,
I
that
love
was
30
funny.
Rock. Yeah, heck yeah.
Now hold on. Claire was in this movie.
Claire.
Claire Huxtable
Of
was
course.
in this movie.
Felicia
This-
Rashad.
God, you know I've loved her
Yes.
since Jingle Jangle.
Yeah. Since Jingle Jangle, what happened to the Cosby Show?
What? Oh yeah. I got a short-term memory, but yeah.
Could you forget her playing Claire Huxtable?
Immediate gratification. That's what it is. Jingle Jangle was fantastic. But all right. Can't wait till next year to watch it again so I don't look like a weirdo.
Netflix film Jingle Jangle. Yes, it was fantastic.
That's right. Now the one voice I couldn't depict in here that was in here was Angela Bassett.
Yes. Okay, I'm glad you said it. She played Dorothea. She was the lady that had the band. She played the was it the trumpet? Or,
Oh,
that was her.
Okay.
That was Angela Bassett.
What?
Yes. And one fun character that was in here was Questlove. Okay, now Questlove is actually in real life the drummer for the hip hop band The Roots, who's actually the house band for the Jimmy Fallon show.
That's right.
Yes, love that show. And so he played a drummer in this film. He was Curly. So he was one of Joe's old students. He was the one calling him and got him the job.
Got it. Okay.
I'm like, okay, Questlove.
Came with the
You better
hookup.
act.
Yeah, that's right. The voiceovers.
Right, you gotta love those voiceovers.
That's right.
And so Soul is actually the first Pixar film to feature an African American protagonist.
I was
like, all
realizing that. Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
They don't do a lot with people. And then they did one with African
start somewhere.
Why not start with the black community? I don't know if you know, but Black Lives Matter. So it's a beautiful thing.
Right. It's definitely beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
And so we definitely can't talk about Soul without talking about the music.
Yeah.
And so this is what I found to be very interesting. So the producers of this film consulted various jazz musicians, including Herbie Hancock and Terry Lynn Carrington. Okay. And so some of the animated musical sequences was actually using the sessions of John Batista. Now, of course, you would have to know some jazz music. You can look these people up later, audience. And let's see here. This is something that was cool as well. So the actual film score was done by Trent Reznor. Now, I was familiar with Trent from Gone Girl back in 14.
Okay.
That was a pretty good score in there. I'm into the scores, so the audience knows again. And so he is actually from the rock band 9 Inch Nails. Now that I didn't know.
What?
And him and another member of that band, his name is Atticus Ross, worked on this soundtrack, and they've also done some other soundtracks as well. But he's also from 9 Inch Nails.
What?
Now check this out. They are such a great collab team that they got an Academy Award back in 2010 for their work on The Social Network. We're talking about film scoring. As well as a Grammy Award for The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo back in 2011 with Daniel Craig.
Really good movie.
Yes. And so they also did The Book of Eli back in 2010.
What?
Well, that was Atticus Ross. Yes.
Really good movie.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so, just give people a little feel what they're listening to. Like, and maybe if they're sitting there, because I'm one of those people, I'm such a fan to the point where I've become familiar with signatures of sound. Like, I'll literally be watching a film and like, this kind of sounds like, and sure enough, I'll look it up. Hey, that's the same composer.
Really?
Really, it's like that.
I ain't been able to do that since Michael.
Well.
He's moonwalking. You know what I mean? Because I can hear a song. I know it's Michael. you know what I mean? Yeah,
people have signature sounds.
That's right. That's right. Okay.
All right, so let's talk about Soul.
Good movie. Really good movie. I kind of have lived, and I know people that live waiting for that big thing. You know what I mean? Just waiting on that big thing to happen. You crazy? And it's like, as soon as that big thing happens, they just think life is going to just open up.
Right.
And I've been blessed in my life where that big thing that I was waiting to happen happened, but then it's Tuesday. just like the movie. So I was like, wow, they put this in the film. You know what I mean? And I really, from a man standpoint, I hope it spoke to some of my male compadres out there. That, the big thing, you can have a goal for the big thing, but what's next? Where do you take it next? So that's what I got. Thank you. That's what I got from the opening of the movie.
Yes. Definitely very creative, especially with us being spiritual people. Just how heaven was depicted or whatnot. Oh my gosh. And so they had him as Soul. So what I loved really was the twofold thing that was happening in this title. So with Soul, we're looking at Soul because when I initially saw the trailer, I don't know, maybe I didn't watch it as thoroughly. Maybe they showed this in the trailer. But when I initially saw the trailer for this film, I was like, oh, Soul, okay, jazz music. Okay, I see what they're doing there. But when you watch the film, you're thinking, oh, okay, soul, jazz music, but then soul because he was a lost soul in a way.
Right.
In a way. So I was like, oh, okay, I like what y'all did with that. That was pretty creative.
It really was.
So they had him going up to heaven, all the little souls lined up. He was like, no, it's not my time. I finally pretty much, got to a place where I really was going to love, and now I died. No. I thought that was cute.
I won't ever forget that scene because I was drinking a root beer.
Oh.
And when he was in line, one of the little souls was looking down and said, "Hey, wait, I don't have any pants on." Like, oh God, Rupert everywhere. That part was hilarious to me. So
it really showed him being set apart anyway, because he was the only one that panicked and went back. Like everybody else was just
yeah, he did.
It was like, so I guess your life isn't finished. Everybody else was like, shoot, I'm probably good. We're going there.
That's right. I'm good.
Right. And so what was that? It was called the something beyond. And then the place where he was going.
Yeah.
And then the something, when he went backwards, he ended up going to the before.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, that was nice.
Yeah.
And I mean, and it's like, and it was depicted so well, like they really didn't even have to describe anything. You got it right away.
Yeah,
like when you saw those little bitty baby ones, you're like, oh, okay, so this is the souls before they get to the body. Okay.
Yep.
It was so cute.
It was funny. What did they say? The teacher souls was like, they, people think that they live their whole life and this is what they were supposed to be.
Right.
But they really get it when they, when they're the personality piece, when they're in the beginning stage. So I was like, wow, that's cool.
Right. Now, something that I love that they brought out. Okay, so 22. Okay, this was Tina Fey.
Yep.
She was a little infant soul. Okay.
Yep.
And so this is something that I loved. So when her and Joe were trying to figure out how to get Joe back into his body or whatnot, and so he had to basically help her find her spark.
Yep.
Because she just couldn't find her spark.
Right.
And so she went through a process of trying out different giftings to basically get to her overall purpose before going to Earth or whatnot. That's how I took it. And so go with me. This is what I got from that. So I know where I'm at my ministry at church. It's called Agape Time Ministries or whatnot, where we both attend. And one of the things in training that I've been doing for the last 9 years, almost 10, one of the first things I did was I went through all these different organizations to see where my fit was, if that makes sense. So I could discover what was really my purpose. And I loved how they brought that out in this film. Because, go with me, so once she got to that purpose, so by the time she got to that body, because she's a soul, when she got to that body, she still had to go through a human process of coming into that purpose, but it was already there. The purpose was already there in the soul. So once the soul got to the body, she just had to go through, or she or he, they just got to go through this process of getting and discovering what that purpose is. But they're gonna get there because it was initially already there in the soul.
That's deep.
Yes.
That's what I'm
So they brought that out in this film, and I was like, yes. So it was like, Scripture tells us, before the beginning of time, I knew you.
Yeah.
Before I formed you in your mother's womb.
That's right.
That's basically it, and that's what we're doing right now. We're living through this life in time. So this was an eternal thing that was happening. And then that eternal soul went into the body and then had to walk out that process through time.
It's beautiful.
Yes,
It was beautiful. It really was. That was spoken quite beautifully.
Don't ask me to say it again. I don't have to listen to it again.
The other piece, what was great was all of the people throughout the ages. So 22 must have been there a long time, because Gandhi was one of her teachers trying to help her find her spark.
Right.
Yeah.
That was great. I loved how they did that.
So many people were in there trying to help her find her spark, and it's so funny that the guy that needs help finding his helps her find hers. So I was like, all right, I see how y'all did that.
Yes.
That's a nice little bow.
Yes.
I see how y'all did that.
I liked how 22, which actually biblical meaning is light. So she's actually a light for Joe through this journey. But when they went to the zone, and you saw all those souls in the air or whatever, and she was like, okay, this is the space between the physical and spiritual. So to me, I wish my brother, he is a musician or whatever, and he always says it's these moments that happen to where he's in another place or whatnot.
Okay.
When he's playing, he plays the keyboard.
Yep.
And so to me, that made me think of inspiration. So these are those times when you're inspired or whatnot. But then even deeper than that, there's a certain realm of creativity that we lock into that's really a heavenly realm where that creativity comes forth. And it's like no one else is there. You just kind of lock into it. And I got that from that Zone place. I was like, yeah.
Right.
Like even with the before and after, those were like different realms to me. That's how I perceived it or whatnot. And I was like, man, who made this film? But really, the making of the film, they had to lock into that creativity to make the film.
Oh yeah. So they probably all knew what they was talking about.
Right.
Like, oh, you go there too? Okay, all right.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, but it was good. And the movie really started to ramp up, and you know, a lot of the comedy came.
Oh yeah,
when
comedy.
wasn't it
Loved
Ralph, the accountant spirit?
Yes.
Yeah, he realized his numbers was off, and his numbers have never been off.
Oh, that was fantastic. He was like, there's a soul missing. There's a soul missing.
He was on it.
Yeah, he was right though. It was.
It was. And then when 22 I forget what was his name? I don't remember. Jamie Foxx.
Oh, Joe.
Joe. When they go back to Earth and Joe's in the cat
and you see what happened there. He rushed that process. Like he wanted to blame the other guy, but it was really his fault. He was like, "Wait, take your time." Next thing you know, now you're in a cat. Oh my gosh! Soul went to the wrong body.
Oh God, that whole little sequence was funny to me.
Yes, it was. It was fantastic, especially because 22 was an infant in the human body, so she didn't even know how to walk. See, that's a perfect example of that.
Really
That's why we
was.
have to go through these stages.
Yep.
She didn't get to go through learning how to walk. She couldn't even press the buttons of the elevator.
Nope.
Hilarious.
Didn't have an auntie to
She
tell
didn't
her
have
right
no
from
understanding.
wrong.
Why do I smell? Why does this smell like this and that smells like that? Oh my gosh, that was hilarious.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was a nice movie.
It was.
With a very good message.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
Love
one
the
of those
music.
where I bet if you watch it, you know, twice, you'll get something else out of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely will be watching it again. Definitely. So love the music in the film. That was great. Love the characters. And I like the barbershop scene. That was funny.
Yep.
She messed that cat hair up. Oh, the cat messed his hair, up.
Right.
Oh man. So that was great, and just the relationship that formed between the two of them.
Yeah.
And
Pretty,
in the
pretty
end,
good.
he got to come back to himself,
Yep.
if you will, like almost a second chance. But then, in a sense, it's almost like if he had been in a coma, and you know how people say you have those life-death experiences and it changes them forever.
I saw a white light.
Yeah, it was kind of like that. Like it was almost like if he was in a coma, then he got a second chance to live.
Yep.
And then he just got different perspective on how to live his life and
Or to
be
actually
a better person.
live his life.
Right, actually
Yeah.
live it. Actually
Yeah.
live it. So I
So
love
many,
that.
so many. I hope it blesses some of the listeners out there. Stop waiting for that one thing. Go out there and live.
Yeah, just try things. And that's what I was
yeah.
saying with 22. She just tried stuff.
Yeah,
You just got to try stuff. And then eventually you keep trying. Yeah, consistency, you're going to get to that thing that
Gonna
you
come.
just love to do. And like we're on this podcast.
That's
and,
right.
you know, can't nobody change it. This is what I'm going to do. You know.
And
So-
beyond, and that you find other things in
The
life
great beyond.
that you love. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Along the way.
Yeah, it's awesome. I enjoyed that. The message of that movie.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. So you could go see Wonder Woman 84. It's currently in theaters. And then it's also streaming on the HBO Max app. But that's coming to an end here pretty soon. I think it's up to January 24th or something like that. And then you could watch Soul on the Disney app.
What's your GTS with Soul?
So GTS, I want to say 10. Yeah, I love the movie. It was fantastically done. One thing I will say though, and somebody else, we talked about this as well, but it's definitely not for little bitty kids. For you to understand and grasp some of the concepts, you definitely have to be at a certain age to do that.
I thought it was so. That's the only thing I would give it that would make me give it a 9.
I got you.
Because it's titled a family movie, but really to get it, you know what I mean. It wasn't
Yeah.
a lot of that slapstick stuff in there for kids,
Right,
You know?
like on like Dory.
yeah, like Dory or the Croods or something like that.
Right.
Yeah,
I definitely, I could see that. I
yeah,
could see
yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I got you, because kids probably be asking you all questions like every other scene. Like, Dad, what? Mom, what?
Mine went to sleep.
Oh, well. Well, there you go.
Right,
it was
right.
definitely more
Yep.
grown up type of film.
It really was. Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Next week we are actually going to do 2 TV shows. Okay, we're going to talk about the Netflix show Bridgerton and the Prime show The Wilds. Yeah.
Very good shows. Very good
so
shows.
Look for us next
Get buckled
week,
up with those 2.
and we'll be covering those shows. Meanwhile, we're going to talk a little bit about the streaming apps. So we got Hulu, HBO Max, Netflix, Disney app, Prime. Okay, now pretty much out of all of those, I have access to all of those except for Hulu. I was with Hulu, but I was using somebody else's account. Anyway, and so that's no longer active. And so eventually I'll get back to Hulu. But
You should have been on Hulu last month.
oh, they had a special.
They did. It was called Deadpool 2.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
Streaming on Hulu.
I haven't seen Deadpool 2 yet, and Sean's gonna keep bringing that
I won't
up.
let it go. I won't.
Probably every episode until I watch it.
Watch it.
So that's what that's about.
That's right.
All right. So out of all of the apps, which one or 2 do you find yourself using the most, Sean?
Oh. Netflix, definitely Netflix. And so I used to be it was an app called DC Universe.
Okay.
And it was just all DC movies and everything. But now the HBO Max has included DC in the in their whole hub. So I'm on HBO Max a lot. watching, and I take that back. Not Netflix, probably Prime Video.
Okay.
Because it got stars and everything else in there. Yeah.
Oh, right, stars. Yeah.
My family though, Netflix.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So Netflix is definitely high on the list for me. I use that one a lot. HBO Max just came here and just hit me. The last month or so? That app is amazing.
It really is.
There's so much stuff on there. I mean, they've got old stuff like A Streetcar Named Desire. I was like, what? An old movie, North by Northwest, Alfred Hitchcock. And they've got shows on there. Of course, they got all the DC's movies on there and whatnot.
Yeah.
But they even got the original Wonder Woman series on there with Linda Carter.
Yeah.
I was like, come on now. I was watching that the other day.
Yep.
So I'm loving HBO Max. I'm definitely watching a lot of that.
Had you told me that HBO and Cinemax would combine one day, I wouldn't have believed you.
I know, right? Who knew a lot of this stuff would happen?
Right.
And Prime, I do. Sometimes I think I go through seasons though, because at one point I was watching a lot of Hulu, and then a lot of Prime or whatnot. But Netflix was always kind of that one that was high up there for me anyway.
Yeah.
But the HBO Max then came and took over. I can't even lie. Now, as far as the quality, of course I use Disney app as well. But
You got to be.
as far as the quality is concerned, out of them, I would say Netflix's Prime is probably the best to me, actually, as far as quality.
Okay.
Like moving through scenes and things like that, because I do that a lot.
Yeah.
Or whatnot. Go back, rewind, fast forward. So
Also, like on Prime,
is
if you
that.
pause it, all the actors in the scene.
Yes, I love that feature as
that
well.
feature. Yeah,
That's
cool.
pretty awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so
But,
we're gonna.
we got to give a warning
Oh,
for the 2 shows.
okay, for the shows next week.
Yeah. So these are not family shows. These are of the PG-13 and up.
Adult persuasion.
Yeah. So make sure that you're watching it, with another adult.
Yo, there you go.
There you go.
So, and that's for Bridgerton and the Wilds that we'll be covering next week.
Definitely.
All right, so we're going to get out of here, you guys. Once again, go ahead and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
Follow it.
Apple Podcasts,
All of them.
Spotify. Look, all of them. Under What's Your Take Media. It's been a pleasure being before you all, and we'll see you next week.
All right.
Or talk to you next week, because we're not going to see them. All right, yeah. So we'll talk to you next week.